So we're back with another Safari Pedals plugin. This time we're going to be taking a look at Ladybug Reverb. It's a lo-fi effect, reverb all in one. Let's dive into it. Alright, so we're back. I'm Chris, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at this new reverb plugin that Safari Pedals has dropped. It's a very cool looking plugin. As per usual of Safari Pedals, they've always got quite a nice GUI going on. This is, again, classic Safari Pedals. Pretty straightforward plugin. There's not too much going on, but this time a little bit more than their average reverb plugin. So to get us started, let's hear what this sounds like. I've got a dry piano sound. I'm just going to play it through this, first dry and then with the plugin, and we'll hear what it sounds like. Let's quickly try out that second reverb we've got on there. Lovely. So right off the bat you can see we've got two reverbs, we've got a spring and a plate, two very different flavors you can say, but we've also got a couple extra controls. So let's quickly dive into what's going on here. So besides the reverb, we've got our main reverb control over here. We also have this lo-fi and this compression knob, pretty much stating what you'd expect them to do. So the compression makes that reverb a lot more present, a lot more in your face. And the lo-fi so you can hear it's degrading the audio a bit, making it a bit crunchier, not doing too much filtering, which maybe I was expecting a bit more of, but overall adding a nice little character to the sound. Other than that, we've got our input and our output gain, which has a auto gain feature to keep it all leveled. You can actually use this in conjunction with the lo-fi and the compression to saturate your audio, get a bit more crunch out of it. So in this case, because we've got the lo-fi going, you can hear that becomes way more apparent as I crank up the volume, but there isn't any real changes in loudness because of that auto gain, which is quite convenient. I quite like the use of this because in my mind, when I think of a spring, I think of a dirty, like amp style spring, usually with a bit of crunch on it, as opposed to maybe the more clean studio style spring reverb. So you can get this effect a bit more apparent just using this. I maybe wouldn't go full fat, but and right now we've also got that blend on full, so if I pull that back we can get a nice balance between the two. Gonna pull back that lo-fi a bit. Lovely. Last but not least, we've got a width control for our stereo or mono reverbs. Let's crank this compression a bit. So you can hear quite a stereo reverb. You might want to listen on some headphones or some speakers just to really immerse yourself in this, but it's definitely a bit stereo. And then pull it all the way back to get that mono reverb, which is lovely. Let's try it on some different sounds. I've got some drums, classic situation to try them on. So if I go into my drums, I've got a nice dry loop. We can hear what that sounds like without the plugin. Awesome. Now let's hear it with the plugin. So you can really hear that character of the spring, all that bouncy styled reverb in the background. If we go to a plate, it's usually a bit darker, a lot smoother. Let's hear that. Awesome. And now if we experiment using the lo-fi and the compressor, we can really emphasize that reverb and dirty it up a bit. Try it in mono. And there you go. Lastly, I'd love to try this on some electric guitar. I find with Safari pedals, you tend to get a bit more use out of them than just their initial sounds. You get a bit more use out of them than what they're usually stated for. In this case, I might just be able to use it without the reverb, but try the compression and the lo-fi and see if we get a sound out of that. Awesome, let's get the plugin on there. And pull back that blend. So if we try blend on full, reverb down, it's already got a bit of a sound. Interesting. And let's crank up that compressor. Very nice. Let's try a bit of that lo-fi. Oh. Crank it all the way. A little bit fizzy on the top, so I'm going to pull that back. But super crunchy. Then we can add a little bit of that reverb. I'm going to pull it back a bit more, but use a bit more of that compression as well. Let's try that plate, actually. That might sound quite nice. Lovely. Really sick. I'm just going to crank, I'll turn the auto gain on. I'm just going to crank the input and see how much we can push this. Quite nice actually down there as well. Got a little bit of that lo-fi and the compression, but obviously because we've pulled the gain down quite a bit, they're not reacting too heavily. Let's just bypass this again. Get it back on. There you go. Alright, but that's about it. Not going to keep it too long for this one because there's not much need to. But there you go. That is the Ladybug Reverb from Safari Pedals. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you had any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer anything. And don't forget to like and subscribe. The support really helps. And thank you to everyone who's already done so. I really appreciate it. But once again, I've been Chris Vella, and I'll see you on the next one.